Hello, ETF fans. This is Alex Shepard with ETF Action, and for today's daily video insight, we are going to go over a basic functionality on our site, and it's just comparing a couple tickers. Oftentimes, our clients tell us that they have a list of 2, 3, 4, 5 products. They just want to quickly compare side by side for performance perspectives, for risk, or composition and fundamentals. You can use our site and you can do it very quickly on the fly, like I said. So today's video, we're going to do that. And then also, we're going to jump into the overlap analyzer too, just because there are shortcuts from our database that I want to make you guys all aware of. So we are currently on the dashboards. This is where you log in when you come to etfaction.com. Again, if you don't have an account, you can set up a trial account by doing a brief demo with our sales team. It's about 30 minutes. We'll set you up with full access for a few weeks. So you can go out and explore the reports, the data, and all the functionality on the site. You can sign up on our site at etfaction.com or reach out to team@etfaction.com. So I'm going to jump over to our databases, and I'm going to go to ETFs. And like I said, I'm going to be coming in with a ticker list that I already have in mind. Today, what we're going to use is, for illustrative purposes, I'm just going to pick 4 quality ETFs that I know off the top of my head. So I'm going to go with QUAL, SPHQ, JQUA, and FQAL. Those are 4 of some of the larger quality products out there in the marketplace for US exposure. So I pulled up my 4 ETFs here. You can see the iShares product is by and large the largest product of all of them. You can compare your fees side by side, your yields. If you're concerned about liquidity requirements, you can see your notional ADV and your average spreads. And also, if you just want to use the data table, you can compare across all of the data points in our tables. So we have exposure characteristics, we've got fundamentals, valuation ratios, technicals, we've got flows, performance, but I'm going to just quickly select them. And pro tip using our site, if you have a long list of tickers that you're trying to compare side by side, you can just click the top, hold shift, and then click the bottom, and it'll click all of those tickers in between, so you don't have to tick them one at a time. So I've got these 4 funds selected, and if you notice, these tools here, they just illuminated from gray to orange. And what I can do is, if I hover over, I can save these as a screen, just as a shortcut. So anytime I log into the site, let's say this list was a lot longer, let's say it was about 30 or 40 funds, I would have that watch list. So instead of having to go out and search or type in all these stickers, I can just pull it up under one of my watch lists over here. Here I can compare the funds side by side. We'll click that in just a second. This is a correlation matrix. It'll pull these funds that I've selected into our correlation tool, and then similarly the overlap analyzer, it will pull these 4 funds into it. But we're going to start with comparing them side by side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. It's going to pull all of those 4 funds. It's going to add SPY as the default benchmark that we have set. And just like that, I'm now looking at a line chart. If I want to look out over longer time horizons, or I can check my period returns, whether that's monthly, if I want to say, well, I want to know how these products have been doing on an annual basis side by side. I can very quickly do that. I can download these charts too, or download the data from them. I use this hamburger icon right here in the top right. Similarly, I can do this across risk, look at volatility and drawdowns. I can do it for composition. If somebody said, well, what's the sector differences between these products? I can come in here and I can say, well, that's a great question. I can see that the SPHQ has the highest technology exposure of all 4 of these products. Similarly, it has the highest industrials exposure of all of these products. But from a sector perspective, a lot of these are very similar. SPHQ does seem to have the largest differences from the other 3. Cool. So that's if I just want to kind of come in here. I can look at their holdings side by side, and actually this is a really strong point I'd like to make from this video is don't always trust an ETF just by its name. These 4 products all have the word quality or quality factor in their name. They're all US focused, but if you actually look at the underlying holdings, they are vastly different. So what I could do is I can count this by or sort it by common holdings based on weights. But an easier way to do this is I'm going to go to the overlap analyzer. Again, these 4 products are all checked, and I will pull these in. It automatically pulled these 4 funds in, and voila. I can look at a matrix of the overlap between these funds. Interestingly enough, the highest overlap between any of these funds is 49.2%. Like I said, they all have quality or quality factor in their name, but there's not as much overlap as you would expect, even though they're working within the same market and they're both looking and they're using fundamental screens for quality characteristics. What I can also do here is I'll add SPY just to show you for illustrative purposes that I can add that in and see the differences between SPY and these 4 products, but I can also generate a PDF. So if I click this orange button over here, again, this is part of a paid monthly account or yearly if you want a discount on it. It's not that pricey, but to get access to these reports and tools, that is a paid. It's not part of our free tier, so I should make note of that. So I can type in up to 5 securities at a time. I'll submit that. And it usually takes about 30 seconds to a minute for the report to show up in your inbox. It'll be emailed to you. But if I actually want to look at all the underlying holdings that they reference here in this table, I can come in here and I can say, well, all 5 of these funds hold Apple, not surprisingly, and I can see the weights for each of these products. So just a quick way to easily look across the difference in the portfolios. And what I'll do is I'm going to go over to my inbox, which is on my other screen, and I'm going to open up the PDF report. What we have found is it's a great way to take something off our site and walk into a client meeting and show the data or have a conversation about it. So it is opening up the PDF right now for the overlap report. And as you can see, here are our 5 funds. Same data that we were just looking at on the website, but it's in a pretty PDF form. And then we have our disclosures, of course, at the end. So if you have any questions, email us at team@etfaction.com. I encourage you to go out and explore our databases. Again, this is just a video that goes over a very quick way to pull up a ticker list, compare side by side, and use one of our more popular tools in the Fund Overlap Analyzer. With that, have a great rest of the day. None of the securities I talked about today is a recommendation from me for you to buy or sell. Speak with a financial professional before making any investment decisions, and take care.